Here's why I'm developing affordable housing real estate. We're in a market right now that people are sitting back with inflation, interest rates being high, and in a recessionary market. Second quarter, GDP is tanked through the bottom again. And what do you do as a US American if you're an investor or if you just want to buy a house and make a living? And the biggest problem right now in America is affordability. Think about it. The government pumps out $9 trillion into the economy, and they flirt with us having a little bit more cash in our pockets. And so everybody gets excited. They go buy a new car. They go out and start buying new homes. Housing market goes crazy. It goes gangbusters. Interest rates are low. They're less than 3%. And then bam, all of a sudden, everything goes to the roof. Inflation goes to the roof. And people are struggling just trying to make ends meet with everything, the affordability of gasoline, the affordability of foods, commodities, and now housing. And housing's being affected. And this is a long time coming, right? Like, this isn't something that just yesterday we said, wow, we need affordable housing. Years and years and years of this. You got to remember that we've been in a place right now where the recession of 2008, we're almost 20, we're 15 years into that right now, because the recession really started in 2007. Okay, so you think about it in that regards. We're 15 years from the last recession. Now, one of the big things is how we develop our business model. People have been asking me, they say, Jerome, do we continue buying houses? Do we continue going out and buying land? Do we continue doing these things in spite of a recessionary market? And the answer to that is yes, absolutely. You continue going out, buying land and building houses. You continue going out, and I'll tell you guys, hands down, multifamily development in the affordable housing sector is one of the most profitable commercial assets right now. Aside from office warehouse and industrial warehouse, those two asset classes are right now incredible as well. But affordable multifamily is where it's at. Now, there's a little key to everything that we do. And I'm going to tell you, one of the things that I really hyper focus on in the buy land, build house model is I don't go in and build affordable to the low end market sector. So there's a difference here. There's a little business model behind this. I don't go in and say, okay, we're going to go in and build just these little affordable houses, and we're going to make them affordable for people to live in. What we do is we take the market sector that is hitting the masses, right? We take a look at like KB Homes and Pulte and Lennar Homes and Toll Brothers and all the big guys, LGI, all the big guys. And we don't want to compete with those guys because they're building out masses of homes. They have volume going in. And I don't want that monster. We started building that monster before 2008. And I'll tell you that by the time we got to 2008, the most incredible thing that happened to us was we had the ability to downscale. We were able to scale down our company because we were feeding the beast. There was so many homes we had to pull out of the ground in order to just service payroll. We didn't want to do that anymore. We had a great business model, and we were giving affordable housing to retirees, empty nesters, to people that were a little bit more on the affluent end of the executive side of business, and the people that had a little bit more affluency, the affluent professionals, the middle class, upper middle class. And I say more upper middle class. This is what gave us the financial affordability to get into affordable housing. Now, affordable housing, here you go, guys. One of the reasons that we're going into affordable housing is because it's needed. Rents are through the roof. The price of housing is through the roof. Interest is through the roof. And people, I'm telling you guys, there's going to be more homeless people continuing to be begging for money on the side of your street corners. And you're going to start seeing, it's not just going to be people that are drug ridden. It's not just going to be people that are subjected to the opioid epidemic. It's not going to be people that have just mental health issues. It's going to be normal people. People like your moms and dads, your grandparents, your brothers and sisters, and people that don't have the social economic upbringing to get them out there and get more affluent jobs. You know, people that are working at fast food restaurants, how are they going to make a living? The people that are working in entry-level construction positions, how are they going to make a living? The people that are working in entry-level anything, how are they going to make a living? They can't afford apartments, because apartments in most areas of the country are costing anywhere between $1,500 and $3,000 to just get to have rent. Now, in spite of that, I mean, I like the high rents. It helps us out financially, and the wealthier do get wealthier, and we continue to profit, right? But you got to solve a problem. And I met a wealthy gentleman years ago, and he said, Jerome, when you can depict a massive problem, but not only depict a massive problem, but if you can find a solution to it, you'll amass fortunes greater than anything you've ever done in your entire life. And what better industry to go into and solve problems than the housing industry right now? The housing industry right now is affecting so many home buyers. You look at the millennials, you look at the Gen Z population, which is going to be in the housing market sector, ready to purchase here sooner than later. And you even take a look at a lot of empty nesters that are in the that are still in the baby boomer age sector, in the Gen X, which is my sector. And people are sitting back, they're going, damn, housing's expensive, interest rates are high, how are we going to afford this? And yes, we have little tricks of the trade that we go in and we sell homes, 1Z, 2Z, 3Z, a dozen a year, and we could sell that. We could teach you guys how to do that stuff. And we sell to the right demographics, we target market the right demographics. It's not hard to do. The problem is what happens to the masses, okay? So we help 12 people out in a year. 12 times hundreds of people that we're helping buy land, build houses, that's great. We're gonna help thousands of people out. But what happens to the masses, the millions of people that need housing? That's what's scary. So what we did about 5 years ago is I said, you know what? Instead of going in and building out Class A apartments with all the amenities, fully amenitized, with swimming pools, with all the clubhouses. I remember I was up in LA, and I went to go record some of my first training videos, and I remember sitting back at this apartment complex going, damn, this place is awesome. I mean, there's pool tables, and I'm not talking just like pool tables are amazing. I'm talking the clubhouse was decked out to a T. Where we recorded, they had their own offices, their own little independent offices, and granted, it was beautiful. But guess what I noticed when I was in there a few years ago? It was empty. We were the only people in there. Like, we didn't have to ask for rent. The apartment complex was full, but nobody was using the amenities. Every once in a blue moon, one person would walk through, get a cup of coffee. One person would walk through, maybe get some filtered water. I don't think we saw one person in the swimming pool during the weekdays the entire time we were there. And I remember going through on a weekend and sitting back going, damn, there's like 7 people out of like 300 units here that are at a swimming pool. And that's when it dawned on me. I said, people like the idea of having these amenities, but they don't need these amenities. They don't even utilize them. They like the idea. It's a selling point to be able to get your property leased, but they don't need them. But what better selling point right now than having affordability? So what if we go in and instead of going out and charging people, $1,900 for a 1-bedroom apartment and $3,000 for a 2-bedroom apartment, we sit back and say, hey, let's get these people into an affordable apartment at $1,300 a month. It's affordable, right? We can get somebody into a 2-bedroom apartment for under $2,000, maybe like $1,600, $1,700. We strip out the swimming pools. We strip out all the amenities, like the clubhouse. We strip out the bocce ball courts. We strip out all that stuff. And we give them a new construction, a product that's exactly the same as Class A. So you walk in the door, you have the same wood floorings, you got the same stainless steel appliances, you got the same trim outs to your amenities, the same granite countertops that you put in your Class A apartments. You got great views, great location, easy access to bus stops and transit and universities and everything else, and everywhere we're building. But you do it in a fashion where our construction costs are so much lower. We can go in and we don't have the maintenance costs of maintaining swimming pools and grass and lawns and clubhouses and salespeople to fill the clubhouses for birthdays and all this stuff. And we still put some of that stuff in there. Don't get me wrong. We do still put some amenities. We just cut back on all the excess amenities that cost an extra $5 million to build out in an apartment complex. And then we have this maintenance that we have on the property that we're having to pay out 40% of every dollar that comes in just to maintain the property. So instead we say, well, let's pay 30 cents out for every dollar that comes in instead of $45 on every dollar. And now we can start renting these things for less money. Our cost to build is less, so our nut out of pocket is substantially less, and we don't have as much expenses managing and maintaining that property. So hence what we end up doing is we go in and we have a product that we can lease for rent. Now, here's what's cool. As affluency becomes more intact with where it needs to be. And as economics grow, we still have the ability to push rents. We don't get into locking ourselves down into being forced into an affordable housing model where we can't push rents and we're stuck at the rent rates. We can push rents just like everybody else. We can do a cash out refinance with the appreciation of our properties. But affordable housing, ladies and gentlemen, we're creating affordable housing for people. We're filling these things like hotcakes. And where are people going to leave? Right now, when economics change, they can't afford to live. If everything in the economy continues to rise like it is right now, if things don't change, where are people going to go? Where are they going to live? Well, they're going to come to our place because they can go to Planet Fitness and for $30 a month get a full membership. They can go, and if they really want a really nice, really nice gym membership, they can go pay to go to LA Fitness, and you have the swimming pools, all the amenities, and everything that they normally have for $100 a month. So, ladies and gentlemen, affordable housing right now, there's a big need for it. We're over 5 million rooftops short of where we need to be in America, and we only build every decade 11 million homes. So we're 5 years. Even if the need for housing today stayed exactly where it is right now, we are 5 years away from just being able to fulfill the current need for housing. I've been talking about this for the last 2 years, and some people have listened, some people haven't. But I'm telling you, I think people are becoming more and more aware. It's funny how people don't really become aware until mainstream media gets a hold of this stuff. Why that is? It's because we're influenced by what's on television. You think because it's on the big screen, you can believe it. And more bullshit comes out of that big screen and that box, that TV box of yours than any other thing that you listen to. And a lot of shit comes out of all this social media stuff too. So who you listen to is very important because there's a lot of noise out there. So who you pick and choose to listen to is super, super, super important. Now, ladies and gentlemen, listen up. If you guys want to learn how to generate 6 figures, target marketing a specific demographic, and go out. You don't have to go out and compete with the masses. You don't have to build hundreds of homes every single year, but you just want to buy land, build houses, and generate $500,000, $1 million a year and build under 10 houses a year and doing it. You can do that with one superintendent, one admin, and you can generate a net profit over $1 million a year if you have that infrastructure. Or you can go out and do it alone and probably make $250,000 to $300,000, maybe even $400,000 just working all by yourself and hiring subcontractors. You're a paper contractor, you're managing it. And it's a specific demographics. If you want that information, click below first and foremost and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you're notified when you get any type of information like this comes out. And give us a thumbs up if you like the information that I'm giving you guys today. And comment down below, but DM us and reach out to us. And I'm going to also post a link in here where you can just click and schedule a call with me or my team. If you guys want to find out how to scale into the apartment sector and you guys want to learn how to go out and build 5 units, 10 units, 100 units, 200 units, and learn how to do what we're doing. Currently, right now, we have just shy of 400 units coming out of the ground, and we have over 800 units under management right now. And if you guys want to understand how we're taking advantage of affordable housing and how we put over $250,000 of new residential apartment builds on our books for this year alone in 2022, and how you could take advantage of a small piece of that or a big piece of that and learn how to do what we're doing and duplicate it, then click below. I'll teach you guys how to take advantage of what we're doing. The exact sector of what to build, how to build it, how to expense your build, and how to go in and expense your build and what you should be paying for contractors, what you should be paying for land, what you should be paying for raw construction costs to go vertical, soft costs, hard costs, the whole 9 yards. So that way, when you stabilize your asset, you sit back. Because I know a lot of you guys are sitting back scratching your head. And one thing I know right now is when people get confused, they check out. And so one of the big things is positioning yourself where you can actually go in and know the business model of affordable housing, how people are getting wealthy, being able to go in and take advantage of affordable housing. So don't miss out on the opportunity to take advantage of affordable housing. I think we're going to have this opportunity for at least 5 years at a minimum, but I feel like we're gonna have a full decade. I think we have at least a decade before we even catch up and before we even get this housing crisis under control. If you take a look at all the big companies like the National Association of Home Builders, National Association of Realtors, this is their number one thing that they have on their agenda right now. Number one thing that they have on their agenda with legislation, okay? Policymakers. They're out there talking to lobbyists and policymakers saying, hey guys, we have a massive issue here. This is our number one concern. How do we solve it? And some of you guys are sitting back going, I'm skeptical. I don't know if it's really that big of an issue. I'm sitting back going, ladies and gentlemen, the National Association of Home Builders, the National Association of Realtors that lobby for our laws, bylaws, and go out and try to make sure that builders, real estate agents, brokers, that they continue to stay viable, that in our country we have affordability and people can turn profits. They're lobbying for us. These are the people you need to be advocating for, not CBS, NBC, Fox, and all that other baloney. You guys need to be advocating for the policymakers that are going out there making it work for us. So anyways, click below. I'll share with you guys a little bit more inside information on what we're doing, how we're doing it, and the exact steps on what we've put together. I have a few conferences that I'm going to be talking to you guys about this. One of them happens to be mine. It's Real Estate Domination 2022 in Las Vegas, Nevada in November. Vertical Street Ventures is putting one on in Arizona next April. I'll be speaking at, I'll be specifically talking about the affordable housing model and what we're doing specifically. And we'll even take you guys on a little field trip of some of our apartment complex. So look, if you guys haven't been following my content, then you guys need to. You need to follow us on Instagram, you need to follow us here on YouTube, and you need to click below and go down, scroll, and stalk us a little bit on some of our prior videos and watch some of my builds in the apartment sector space and also in the single family space. But nonetheless, click below. Just don't do nothing, do something. Click below. I'll see you next time. God bless you guys. Go out and compound your success.